Good morning, friends. Indian government, headed by National Democratic Alliance, has brought its regular budget for the financial year 2024-25 with the promise that whatever policies have been propagated through this budget is going to propel India to become a developed nation by 2047. India attained independence in the year 1947. We have already traveled around 77 years, and 23 years are left to complete 100 years of independence. Government is aiming at making India a developed nation by 2047. The moot question is whether it will be possible or it will not be possible. Friend, I came up with a video, a budget for Happy India, before the budget was presented by the government in the parliament. Then the budget was presented on 23rd July. After presentation of the budget, I conducted detailed analysis of the budget and came up with a detailed video which is more than 1 hour, where I discussed various budget provisions and policies contained therein. And my conclusion was that the budget in its present form will not be able to propel India to become a developed nation by 2047. More than that, my frank opinion is even today that the growth rate of GDP is not the indicator of development of a country or a nation. India has extreme economic inequality. 1% top population is holding more than 53% asset and wealth of the country, whereas bottom 50% population is not having even 4% of wealth and property. Same thing is true in case of income distribution. So with such an economic profile, simply emphasizing the growth of GDP is not going to work. After all, we have been following similar policies for last more than 70 years. Then why India is having the type of problem it is facing today? Acute economic disparity, very high level of unemployment, very sluggish judicial system, and inadequate health coverage, and most importantly, very ineffective educational system. Most of the employers are of the opinion that the students which are coming out of Indian school, colleges and universities are not worth giving employment. So what type of manpower we are producing for our various sectors like agriculture, industry, service and other things. So if we follow whatever policy we have been following so far, certainly it is not going to work. Friend, I came up with another video. The title was, Should I Pay Tax? The focus of this video was how our tax money is being utilized by the government. What type of wastages are being done? And that was triggering from the fact that the budget presented by government is of 48 lakhs crore Indian rupees. Similarly, state governments are also bringing their own budget. And if we consider the transfer from central to state taxes, the total expenditure which governments are doing in India exceeds 100 lakhs crore Indian rupees. But if you see the GDP of India, gross domestic product, it is hardly 293 lakhs crore. And it is not that only government is spending money, which is contributing to GDP. Private sector, corporate sector, household sector, everybody is spending money. Even if I take a moderate estimate of another 100 lakh crore being spent by non-government organizations, the total comes to around 200 lakh crore. So by putting 200 lakh crore, India is able to generate GDP of only 290 crore, 93 crore, lakhs crore. So what is the productivity of capital? What is productivity of fund? In the current economic system, it is not even 1.5. It is below 1.5. So this is a great cause of concern. So my second video was focusing on the wastage of tax money by government agencies through their unplanned working. Now, as a solution to that, I gave two ideas that if we have to improve the productivity of capital, we must adopt zero-based budget system for making budget estimate and performance budget system for attaining goals set by the budget. Since there was a demand for the subscriber that what are these two concepts I should discuss in detail, I came up with a third video on zero-based budget system. And after that, I discussed performance budget system and how it can be implemented. Friend, I hope that you might have seen these 4 videos. The first one on the, making India happy nation. Second, detailed analysis of budget. Third is the wastage of funds. Fourth is on zero-based budget. And fifth is on the performance budget. Sorry, I was telling 4 videos, they are 5. If you have not seen so far, may I request that please see this video to understand the nut and bolt of budgeting system in India and its shortcomings and what can be done to improve it. Friend, through today's video, I am going to conclude my discussion on budget presented by NDA government in India. You will be surprised that whether whatever I am going to discuss today will be beneficial for Indian viewers or it will be beneficial for other countries also. Friend, I can tell you, whatever is the economic structure of India, there are more than 100 countries which have got similar structure. They are facing similar problems and all are trying to become developed nation or happy nation in future. So whatever I am going to discuss or suggest in this concluding video is going to be extremely useful for the citizens of all the countries of the world, including those which are developed countries. Because they are also taking wrong path somewhere and suffering because of that. Friend, through today's video, I am going to discuss what should be a smart goal of budgeting in India, and then what strategy we should adopt to make India a happy and developed nation by 2047, even before that. And all these two things will be applicable for each and every country of the world. Friend, I am Ramchandra Rai and you are watching Prayas Vikalp, a channel which is fully dedicated for development of your personality. But friend, before I start discussion on this very important topic, which has got global relevance today, I want to share something with you. First thing, if you want to connect to me live, you want to attend my live sessions, go to description box. You will get two links there. First link is about free webinar and second is about suggestion for free webinar. If a subject of your choice has been already scheduled by me, you can register and I will invite you. But in case it has not been scheduled because of any reason, you can suggest and I will try to organize and invite you. Secondly, friend, I believe that unless our personality is effective, strong, positive, growth oriented, we will not become successful in whatever we want. The quality of life will be much, bad. Friend, therefore I am working in the area of personality development. If you are interested in this area and want to participate in the discussion to be held in future, you can join Prayas Vichar Manch, which is a discussion forum launched by us. There is a link provided, you click it, give your details, we will let you join and invite you whenever there is a discussion. The third thing, unless our thought process, value system, life values are positive, ethical, we will not be successful in whatever we want to do, and quality of life will not be good. Therefore, with the objective to transform our thinking and behavior, I am directing a special personality development program which is titled Prayas Foundation Course. I have formulated 5 modules separately for students, working professionals, entrepreneurs, government officials, and retired people. And if you want to understand the basics of this course, there is a link provided in the description box. You can click, understand the basic skill. And in case you want to understand individual modules, you can go to our website, the complete details are available, and you can, see those details, understand them. And in case you have got some doubt, you can contact me through email or otherwise. And last but not the least, I do not want that poorest of the poor should also be deprived from the benefit of this program. Therefore, I have made a special revenue model of this course. But I have a request to make. You have a very critical role to play. If you have got more than 1 hour time, free time, out of 24 hours, please donate that time to me. And sitting at your home, wherever you are located, work as our activity partner, work as Vyaktiत्व Vikas Margdarshan through your mobile phone only, and conduct this course under my guidance and training. And you will get some income also out of it. Friend, I am sure that given the importance of this topic, you are going to check the description box, click those links, and decide to join me in some way to help the society, yourself, and me also. Now, friend, let us discuss the topic of today. Friend, as I told you, this is my concluding video, and I am going to suggest you specific goals, budgetary goals, and strategies to achieve that, with the objective to make the capital productivity much higher than what is today. Today it is less than 1.5. We want to improve it and make India a happy nation in earliest possible time without wasting any resource. Therefore, I will request you to please be with me to the end of this video so that you can know that how you can do it. Friend, now let us discuss the basic goals. The first thing is you have to provide for free, quality, universal education service to all the citizens without any discrimination. Number two, you have to provide quality universal health cover to each and every citizen. Third thing, in India, we have to ensure that court give their judgment maximum in 3 years. This is the third goal. Fourth is, you have to provide a reliable, good quality public transport system to arrest uncontrolled growth of private vehicles and resultant air pollution in the country and elsewhere. The next important goal will be complete standby alternate source of energy like solar, wind and hydro, and minimizing thermal power just to reduce pollution and make a clean air. Next thing is, we must maximize the forest area and green cover, including emphasis on, horticulture. Now, since urbanization cannot be stopped beyond a limit, we must develop city in a livable cities along with livable villages. So rural and urban area has to be developed in an integrated and interconnected manner so that people can, to the great extent, work in their own village or town or whatever and migrate to city in exceptional cases, and both places should be livable. We must provide cheap residential accommodation in the city areas so that people can live without spending too much money. The next very important goal is achieving zero unemployment by giving due importance to micro, small and medium enterprises spread out in rural and urban areas in an equitable manner so that people can get local jobs, use local resources and get employment without traveling too much. For that you have to provide complete ease of doing business so that people can do business, generate jobs. Next thing is, you have to ensure all river water to be clean. We should not discriminate between river and river. We should not only focus on one river like Ganga or something. All rivers are equally important, and all state government must ensure that their river system is clean. And for that, they should control all the discharges into the river by creating water treatment plants, etc., and ensure that rivers are clean. Next, you have to provide clean drinking water to each and every citizen and people who live in cities and villages. Because waterborne diseases are harming a lot. Next thing, you have to ensure that the air quality is livable. The AQI is below 50. How you can achieve it? You have to do research and take action. And very important, budget deficit, especially the revenue deficit, must be zero. I have discussed this in the first video also, that how it can be made zero. And last but not the least, bureaucracy has to be made corruption-free, responsive, so that they deliver. We are spending more than 14% of our entire budget on bureaucracy, and they must deliver as per expectation. Friend, having discussed a specific goal of budgeting, the next question will be, what strategy we have to adopt if we have to achieve these goals? Trend number one, we must adopt performance budgeting system, in which we have to decide SMART goals. SMART means specific, measurable, attainable, R means relatable, and T means time. But we have to prepare at least a blueprint for coming 5 years. First, you have to prepare that, and then divide it into 1 year periods, and then prepare annual budget based on that part of your SMART goal. So this is number one. Then the preparing budget estimate. That means estimate of expenditure, earning, etc. We must follow zero-based estimation system. If you want to know the details of performance budget and zero-based budget system, you can see my earlier 2 videos which I was discussing. This is the second one you have to do. Now, third thing you have to do, you have to maximize your tax revenue. Now, how that can be done? The first thing you have to do, you have to examine the existing taxation system, make it rational, make it simple so that people can follow it, understand it, and more importantly, you have to make it broad-based. I can give you one example. In India, under the new income tax rules, if your income is 7 lakhs or below, you pay zero tax. That means it is totally tax free. If I divide 7 lakh by 12, I get monthly, income target. That will be around 60,000 rupees per month. If I divide it by 30, it comes 2,000 rupees per day. So if your income is 2,000 or above, you have to pay tax. But what happens to a fast food corner seller, a vendor, a small shop holder, general merchant? small businesses, unorganized sector, they are earning more than 2,000 rupees per day in most of the cases, but they pay zero tax. So tax has to be made broad-based, it has to be made transaction-based, it has to be made formal, digital payments have to be encouraged, cash handling has to be reduced. Second example I can give you, if you are in a city and you have got a house whose value is 2 crore, how much house tax you pay in a year? Hardly 1,000 or 2,000. This is a petty amount if you consider the type of property you are holding. And then you expect that local bodies to take care of your roads and lighting and cleanness and everything. How do you do it? So we have to examine each and every source of tax following zero-based system, make it rational, so that your income is generated and your deficit is removed. So this is very important strategy one has to adopt. Of course, it has to be gradual. If you have got a 5-year plan, you can do one after another. Next very important thing you have to do. No academic course should be given to a student unless his aptitude and interest have been examined. There is no need to study something which you don't like or which you are not made. You will waste your time and others' time. Today, the people are completing their degree, but they are not fit for job. They don't like the job. They have studied a subject which they don't like out of peer pressure or parental pressure or whatever. So this is a very incorrect thing which is being done today. It should not be done. Next thing, same applies to jobs. Jobs should be given only when your emotional and spiritual quotient are tested, your aptitude interest is tested. Then if you are suitable, you should get this job. Otherwise you will end up in the wrong job and suffer throughout the life. Now, merit has to be rewarded, respected. In this connection, I will discuss the reservation problem which is going on in India today. Supreme Court has given a judgment in favor of subdivision of reserved community post under various castes, subcastes. Lot of people are opposing it, lot of people are supporting it. I have nothing to say in favor of anybody, but I only say that our effort has to be that empowerment should be spread out to last person of the country. Everybody should be made capable. Everybody should get a chance to get government job under reservation system. And this matter has to be amicably settled without creating bitterness. But last word is, unless you reward merit, you will not create a merit society. You will not grow. Next thing. Today, employer says that the student coming out of school, colleges, etc. are not employable. So our focus should be create manpower, capable human resource to meet the specific requirement of various sectors of the economy. Agriculture, horticulture, dairy, and other agricultural allied activity. They one very important sector which require experts at various levels. Second is your industry, manufacturing, and third is your services. And here I say that there are so many countries in the world which require manpower to do various activity in their country because they have got shortage of manpower, population reducing. So we can even send people outside, export manpower, export services, and earn a lot of foreign currency also. So this is very important, subject which we have to deal. Now, as I told you that we must ensure judgment in 3 years' time. How it is possible? So for that we have to re-engage, re-employ retired judges up to 70 years of service or even 75 years of age. Hire premises on lease, expand the court resources, and we must review each and every case pending in court of law. Today we have got more than 4.5 crore cases pending in India. First, let us focus those cases which are more than 5 years old and clear all those cases on war footing by launching a special trial. But this will not happen unless we change our system of procedure, of court procedure, evidence recording procedures, etc. And we have to discard the system of giving adjournment every time on some pretext. If we do that, certainly we can achieve our target in a graded manner. Next thing, we have to analyze the trade deficit very carefully. What we are importing, what we are exporting, why we are importing, why we are exporting. How we can increase the export and decrease the import by suitable quality modifications and solving all those bottlenecks which are there so that we can become trade surplus country, we can earn foreign exchange. And next very important thing we have to do is political reforms. Friend, India is a democratic country. A lot of countries in world are democratic. Some are autocratic, some are following a mixed system. But I personally believe that democracy is the best type of government. But it requires certain important things to happen. The voter have to be enlightened. They have to be capable to decide who to vote and who not to vote. So we require very intensive voter education. Besides that, voters have to ensure we and all, you and all are voters. We have to ensure that only honest and dedicated people are elected as our representative. We should not bother which party has given ticket. We must see the candidate. If he is capable, then only we vote for him. This number one. Number two, we must introduce the right to recall. That if a representative is not contributing as expected from him, he must be recalled by a process. And third and the most important, state funding of elections. Today the basic cause of corruption is nexus between politicians, bureaucrats and businessmen, contractors. Because you are required to spend 20 to 25 crore Indian rupees in an election of parliamentary election. A ordinary individual, from where he will bring this money? So obviously there is a tendency to indulge into corrupt practices, misuse, area development fund and so many things. So election should be fully funded by the state so that this thing is taken care of. Of course, you require budgetary provision for that. You can make it. I will tell you how. Next, as I told you, you have to achieve zero unemployment. For that, you must understand that government cannot give job to everybody. Out of 60 crore people working in India, only 1 or 2 crore people are working in government. Remaining have to work in private sector. So you have to create private enterprises, give them an atmosphere which is suitable, You have to dismantle Inspector Raj. A harassment should be stopped. Ease of doing business has to be implemented. And next item, all government servants, the entire bureaucracy should be paid salary which is free of taxes. And there should be no tax on pension. It is unnecessary harassment to the pensioners. Pension is anyway quite less than the salary. So why you are trying to create a unnecessary burden on them, a compliance burden? Of course, they will pay tax if they are having any other income. But why to take tax from pensioner? Why to take tax from government employees? And misuse the resources of income tax department officers and staff on that. Let them work for private sector and bring those people under tax net which are currently not there. And next thing, you have to ensure a very good relation with your neighbors. You cannot change your neighbors. And if there is a uneasiness on border, peace is not there. There is external threat to your security. Obviously, you cannot focus on economic development. So you have to ensure that. Friend, if you do this, I can assure you that by simply implementing performance budget system backed by zero-based budgeting system, you can save minimum 25% of the budget allocation which is being done today on the expenditure side. You can increase your tax income substantially. You can present a surplus budget. You can provide excellent service to your people. The poorest of the poor will also have a dignified life. I can tell you that no family should have an income less than 5 lakhs a year. That should be your target. So friend, if we do this, I am sure that India will become a happy nation, a reasonably developed nation much before 2047. But if we follow the current policies which we have been following and which is even reflecting in this budget, I can assure you, India will not become a happy nation, it will not become a developed nation. So the need of hour is to adopt these things what I have discussed. And this is true for each and every nation of this world. All must follow performance budget system, zero-based budget system, so that they can use each and every penny in a diligent manner. Don't waste taxpayers' money. And government is made to deliver. Government is not there to make business. So friend, with these words, I want to conclude that if we want to make India a happy and developed nation, we must follow performance-based and zero-based budget system integrated into one for the purpose of budget making, review, control and implementation. Friend, before I take goodbye from you, I want to request one thing from you. Always try to see, read and listen only good things so that you become effective, your personality becomes effective and you succeed in whatever you want to do. And last but not the least, health is wealth. If you are physically and mentally fit, then only you can deliver in whatever field you are working, whether you are a student or working professional, entrepreneurs, whatever you are doing. You cannot succeed unless you are healthy physically and mentally. So always follow healthy lifestyle, good diet, good sleep and keep away from tension. Friend, thank you very much for listening me. I am sure that if this video has given you some value, you are going to share this with your friends and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so far. And don't forget to press the bell button so that you get notification of the future video which I am going to bring. Thank you very much for listening.